2 years.
You were in an open situationship for 2 years,
Yeah.
basically?
Yeah, like on and off.
Okay, and you met your most recent guy who you dated for a couple months at an orgy while you were at said orgy with your 2-year situationship.
They were roommates, yes.
Hold on, just to be clear. So the guy
roommates.
to be clear, the guy that you broke up with, or that you guys broke up 20 days ago, who you were dating for two months, was it?
Yes.
2-3 months? He was roommates with your 2-year situationship.
Yeah, they weren't roommates anymore, but that's when I met him. At the time they were.
At the time when you met him,
In the orgy, they were
In the
roommates.
orgy.
It was at their house, yes.
okay, trying to keep track.
I
of
guess
all
it was, to be technical, a foursome that we did not swap in. And so he was the other person, like
Wait.
the other guy.
Okay, so wait, you met him during an orgy.
Yes. Well,
Was
I
it
met
a
him.
foursome or an orgy?
It was a foursome. Is that
Okay.
an orgy? I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
There was 4 people. No one swapped fully.
I don't know if
But
that's
we
a
were
Do we
interacting.
need to get the requirement down for how many people it takes for it to be an orgy?
It was more than 3. I consider that an orgy, but maybe it's
Yeah, I
not.
More than
consider maybe
3?
5.
Oh,
okay.
I'm 27.
Okay.
So I was 25 at the time.
So you were in an orgy, and then you met this guy.
Well, I guess I knew him prior to that, but just like that's when we really got close and I got to know him.
Were they like high fiving over your head, or?
Something like that.
So okay, you broke up 20 days ago. Who broke up with who?
I broke up with him.
Why?
There's a few reasons. It was a little similar to what she was talking about. I do OnlyFans, and he was really comfortable, just like kind of living at my place, using my car, and we were at Coachella, and some things had happened there, and he was like with another girl. He told her we were in an open relationship, which we weren't. We were completely monogamous when we got together. And then when I broke up with him, he vandalized my car.
Good times.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
I sure know how to pick him.
So he had nothing going for him. He was living at your place.
I'm not gonna say he had nothing going for him, but I am not shallow. I wasn't gonna break up with him from like just lack of ambition alone. So it really took him kind of like being sneaky, weird, like, because I always thought he was so loyal, and that's why I was with him. I was like, oh, he treats me so good, he's so sweet. And then when I started to realize that he was maybe not doing that, I was like, I'm out.
But you met him at a foursome.
Right, you met him.
Yeah, but that was 2 years ago. We weren't together then.
Okay.
But somebody
Yeah, but-
somebody who has an inclination towards that kind of sexual conduct is probably not the best bet for like, well, down the road, I'm gonna have a monogamous relationship with this person.
Well, I think that like with certain people, you could like choose to be poly, and then other people, you choose to be in a committed relationship. So I disagree with that.
Well, hang on. So if you don't mind if I ask
Yeah.
a few questions here.
Sure.
Can I give you a scenario?
Sure.
Let us imagine for a moment that this relationship that you had with this gentleman worked out, and you're 35 years old, and you're sitting around with little Stephanie, your daughter, and she says, "Mommy, how'd you meet Daddy?" And you're like, "Well, we were at a fucking gangbang, and you know there was body fluids going all over the place.
Yeah.
And they high-fived over my head, and I knew then your dad
That
was the
never
one for
happened.
me." Like, does that sound like maybe if you think about that in the future, that
Romantic.
future conversation, does
I
that
kinda thought it
maybe
was
produce
cute.
red flags in your head?
I thought it was cute, like a love story, you know. I mean, we didn't have to tell our kid that per se. We could just say we met like from mutual friends.
That's not a
the
lie.
next Nicholas Spark
right?
movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't blow me up. In
Like,
here.
it's not like I was the first time meeting him, but like I had met him pretty recent before that. So, yeah, good times.
Well, I mean, but you would have to then lie to your kids, right?
I would be honest then. I don't really have a problem if
Yeah,
they're
you'd
old
be
enough.
honest, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to be honest about me doing OnlyFans, like all sorts of things. So
Yeah.
I'm not a liar. I'm not opposed
But I mean,
to telling them.
would it make you uncomfortable to have that conversation at 35 with little Stephanie, with the origin story of how I met your father was at a gangbang?
I
like
mean, I
that?
think like, you know, when people become a certain age, you're gonna have the conversation about the birds and the bees and stuff like that anyways. I don't think when they, you know, are like a newborn baby or like a toddler, I need to like necessarily be sharing those details.
No, but I mean, even 12, 13, right? Something in there when kids are starting to go through puberty and they become curious about that type of thing. You know what I mean? And they're asking about it. Would you feel any shame at all telling that story to little Stephanie?
I think that they could learn from my experiences, both negative and positive, and I could teach them about safe sex and, you know, times where maybe like I wasn't being that safe. And
What
So
if-
say
what
a
if
safe way to
somebody
do an
else
orgy?
told
That's what you want to teach little
that
Stephanie?
story?
wait, sorry, two people are talking.
I
What'd you
was
say?
asking, what if somebody else told Stephanie that story? How would you feel about how you met him?
I'm not really ashamed of it, honestly. It is what it is. Also like there were boundaries, and like we became very, very close friends before we ever got together. And at the time I was just with that partner who I was like experimenting and doing those things with.
Is he still friends with the guy? Like the
They
two
already
guys?
weren't friends before that happened.
Oh, they were just roommates. Okay.
Well, they were friends at the time, but they fell out like long before we got together.
Okay. So you ended it 20 days ago. Has there been a rebound?
No, I've been completely celibate, single.
Okay.
Just
You
doing
had a
me.
question for her?
No, sorry, I asked.
Oh, she
I asked
already
the
answered?
question,
Okay.
She answered it.
All right. And, okay, no rebound, no guys in the picture?
No.
Nothing?
I don't have the
Zilch?
tolerance right now.
No tolerance? You're sick? Are you sick of men?
break.
Sick and
Give me the
tired.
break.
Sick and tired.
I'm going to therapy. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. You said that you.
Well, but you might be only an orgy away from Mr. Right.
No, I actually like was very keen on no longer participating in that stuff, which this boyfriend knew, which is why when he told the girl at Coachella we were open, I was like, I'm out. You know that's not true. So those days are over. I'm no longer fun anymore.
During those days. during.
That's true.
Thank you. That's what he said. 'cause
Okay,
I
so
wouldn't do it.
during those days, how many like orgies were you participating in? Have
Well,
you?
again, define orgy because I guess 4 doesn't count as one. I
Let's
guess
just
I've never
count
had
it.
one.
Let's
That's
just
like,
count it.
In the community?
yeah, with him.
Okay.
Only with him.
Well, would you
Let's
go
say-
to like
let's say
sex
4 or
parties?
more.
Would you go to sex parties?
Yeah,
How
but
many
not
s-
many.
How many did you go to?
Oh, actually, that's a lie. I've been to a few actually.
More than 10?
What's that?
More than 10?
Oh no,
5 to 10?
5.
Sex parties?
Let's say 5.
Okay.
And you would
then-
have sex with your partner, or you would like swap?
I was only with him,
Okay.
and there were times where I've been to parties like that, and I'm just watching or like interacting, but like not having intercourse. So
Was
We're-
your partner with other people?
we would have threesomes a lot.
What's that like to just watch? Just sit there and watch while people do that?
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
It's interesting. It can be really overwhelming, and I would get turned on by watching him with other people. But then, you know, you experience things like jealousy, which is natural. But usually, I would experience that more like if it was like after the fact. Like if it was just like in the moment, like I actually really liked it.
Sure. What about you?
Oh, so my longest relationship was like probably 5 years on and off. It was really bad. And then from age 21 to now, I have been single.
Wait, hold on. So your current relationship status is single.
Single.
And you said from 21 to 28, you've been single?
Yeah, like
Or
yeah.
did you say
I've
20?
gone on dates, and I talked to one guy in that time, and otherwise I've been single.
So you've been single for 8 years?
Probably 7.
Okay, 7. You've been single for 7 years. You were in a 5-year relationship from what age to what age?
It was like 17 to 21 ish. So
I see. And you said it was on again, off again.
Yeah.
How many times was it on off?
Oh my gosh, probably like 20 times.
20 times.
It was so bad.
Is that fairly, like, is it, you think it's more, 30, 40, 50 times?
I
Or
think probably 20.
20 is fair,
I hope
okay.
not more than 20, but
more often than not, who was making it off?
me. Like
Exclusively, all the 20 times. Did he
well,
ever-
no, there was one
One
time
time.
where he had like gotten a new girlfriend, and that was like, and he like didn't message me that time, and I found out about it, and so I guess that would be him. Like
So you would break up with him.
I would break up with him, yeah.
And then,
But if he got a girlfriend, I was like trying to win him back.
so who would, of the 20 or so times, who would try to rekindle things? Was
Him.
it split?
Him.
Always him.
Him always trying to get me back.
Trying to get you back, and
Yeah.
you would take him back. Typically, how long, I know sometimes there would be variance. What would be the break typically in these off periods? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a week? What was the shortest? What was the longest?
Okay, maybe like 3 days to like 2 weeks.
2 weeks was the longest off period.
No, there's probably months. There's probably some months
Oh, okay.
periods in there.
I see.
It's so long
Okay.
ago. I'm trying to block it out of my memory.
And typically, what precipitated you ending things?
Coming to my senses.
Sometimes you just have to go back until you hate them.
Yeah,
Is
and that's
that
what
what happened?
That's what
Yeah.
happened. Actually, what happened was
Well, what would he do to precipitate?
just tell me that to us getting back together.
No, to precipitate a you ending thing, even if temporary. Was he cheating?
He was cheating constantly.
Mhm.
Cheating constantly.
Did you cheat on him at all?
No.
Okay. So he cheated on you like 20 times then? Because you said it was
Maybe it might have been 20. I don't know. Definitely,
why would you keep
definitely
going
more than
back?
10.
Why did you keep going back?
Because I loved him. In my own brain, that's what I told myself. I was like, I would rather chop my arms and legs off. That's how I felt. I was like,
Then what?
I would
Then
then
what?
not
Be
end
with
up
him?
with him. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you'd rather chop your than not be with him
the
or
pain,
be with him?
The pain of him and I not working out, like, was like I would rather deal with any kind of hurt, deal with any kind of wrong thing that he did to me or whatever, and try to make it work, because the pain of like severing that relationship that I had with him was like so painful. So it would always
Yeah.
lead me like, so then he'd be all sweet and be like, you're the love of my life, you're this, you're that, and I would end up getting back with him.
When's the last time you spoke with him?
He accidentally called my phone maybe last year.
Have you? So you said you've been single for 7 years.
Yeah.
In that 7-year period, did you guys have any contact?
No.
Except for like a year ago, you said he accidentally texted you.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, let's see. You've in that 7-year period, have you been? You said there was one guy you dated.
There was one guy that I was like interested in that 7 years.
How long did you date him?
We probably went on like 3 dates, maybe 4 dates, and that was like over like 3 months.
Did you guys? Was there carnal knowledge?
There was intimacy in that relationship.
okay.
Yes, there was.
And was that? But is that the only guy that you've had carnal knowledge with in
Yes.
7 years?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
That was 2 years ago.
So you were celibate for 5 years and then 2 years.
Yeah, and I was
basically.
so upset that I like gave into that because I had really been trucking along.
Okay, and so was this guy that you were on and off again with for 5 years? Are these other guys that have come along? Have they just not been up to snuff as compared to him?
Like the other people I've gone on dates with.
Well, like, can you explain? Like, can you describe your partner, the 5-year one?
Like, what do you mean describe him?
Like some physical characteristics, personality
tall,
wise.
skater, punk, jobless.
How tall?
Probably 6'3", 6'2".
Fit?
Scrawny skater.
Skater boy?
Yeah.
Treated you like shit?
No.
It's
No?
the 6'3"
I mean, he was
No, he
cheating
just
on
cheated
you,
on
so-
me. He just cheated on me.
Okay, but he treated you well otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, except for he didn't have a job and like didn't
Okay.
had no ambition and
Yep.
lied and yeah.
Did he have a good personality though?
He was really creative.
Mm-hmm.
But did he have a good personality? And he was really outdoorsy and like, yeah, I don't know.
Did he have game?
Did he have game?
Riz?
No.
No Riz?
No.
Was-
He's handsome. He's handsome.
Good looking guy.
He's a good looking guy.
Very handsome guy.
Yeah.
Very handsome guy.
I'm
Did-
trying to get into another relationship, dude. I just can't move on my ex.
So then
I'm sorry.
so then he hold on, wait. Was the sex really good? Was that it?
I'm not gonna talk about that.
Well, that's fair.
I'm not gonna talk about it. He was my
I'll
first.
just assume
he
it-
was my first.
Oh, he took okay.
Yes. So I think that had like a huge part of me being like, I would rather chop my arms and
That'll
legs
do
off
it.
than.
Wait, I have
Okay.
a question for you. So, if you could talk to yourself back then,
I
you
would just
now,
punch myself in the head. That's what I
You'd
would
what?
do. I would just like grab myself and shake
and say
me
what?
be like,
I just want to know. What would you tell yourself back then?
Okay, actually, what I would say is you don't understand how much your husband's gonna love you. You don't understand
Word.
how valuable you are.
Yeah.
That's what I would say to myself. And that's what I plan on saying to my children. Like, what we have as women is like so unique and so beautiful.
Wait.
And
What you have as women is so unique. What precisely do
the
all
sexual
women have
connection
that is
you
unique?
can have, but in your relationship with your spouse.
Well, how is that?
Yeah, I
unique?
was looking at my notes here, and forgive me if I got this wrong. Are you currently married?
Me? No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No,
okay,
just let
so
everybody know,
there- 'cause
no.
it's-
She's
'cause it's
talking
really
about her
weird.
future husband.
Okay, so the reason I asked is odd. She had asked, "What would you go back and tell yourself?" And you said, "I would tell myself that you don't even know what the relationship between you and your future spouse is going to be like."
Yeah.
But what's the frame of reference there?
I think like the promise of like I have many people in my life that are in very strong, good relationships with their husband or wife, and they're in love with them, and understanding that like there really is somebody out there for me. I just have to wait until God brings that person into my life, and
Okay.
so it's like holding on to that hope of
Yeah, I understand.
yeah.
I just wanted to understand the mentality. And then my last question before I turn back over to Brian, would you describe this guy as a narcissist?
me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not.
No?
I don't think
Okay.
that he was a narcissist.
Was he a sex addict? Is that why you think?
I never asked him.
I
don't
just
know.
asked because my toxic ex like was definitely a sex addict, and sometimes that's why people have a hard time staying faithful. I don't know.
I don't
but,
know.
Yeah.
We should find
Just a
out.
theory.
I don't know.